Okay, we're gonna show how to use this rigid 141. You see, there's two different ways to use this thing. It's one way is to do it like this. I don't think it's actually made to put it, hold it by the handle. It actually has a place out here where you put a piece of pipe. I think it's 1 inch rigid, and it has a set screw, but it's missing the set screw. So this time, and that's the way normally everybody does it anyway, to put the chain through the handle. And this thing, we can thread pipes from rigid pipe from 2.5 to 4 inch. And it's got the different sizes where you can adjust it. You see, you gotta pull this nub right here and put that one there, and you can spin this, and then it brings the teeth in and out. You see all it?
This don't turn?
Yeah, this is gonna turn like this, yeah. So you're gonna have to put the power pointer right there. So right here, to adjust it, you see right now it's got it on that. You see this here, the marks right here, Marcos? It's got the it's in line with the 3 inch, but you can go all the way to 4 inch. The 4 inch mark is over here. So what you do is you pull this nub here, and then this one here, and then you can move it. If you go on to 2 inch, you can put a 2.5 right there, then the 2 inch, and then you keep going all the way to 4 inch. So since we're doing 3 inch pipe, we leave it right there. And you can feel it when it line up with this
Locks in?
locks in place. So right there is set for 3 inch. Now say you can do it two different ways. You can mount this on the tripod, or when you thread it. In this case, we're gonna do it like this because it's got that little nipple, and it's easier to do little nipples like this. But if you're doing the whole full stick, and you're doing like a 90 inches nipple, it's actually better to do it the other way, where you mount the pipe on the tripod, and then you mount this on the pipe and thread it. So then the other thing you gotta look at is two things before you get started. You got this other mark right here. You got some marks over here. In this case, we're doing a standard thread. So before we get started, we make sure that this is, when you spin this, you bring it out. If you want to make it long threads, you bring it out to the next line, and depending on how far you want it. But in this case, we're trying to do the standard thread. Let me see if I can show you this, how far it goes. See, there's another mark right there. So that's going to give you an extra, quarter inch, 3/8 of an inch more threads. So, and I think I got one more mark. So that's going to give you another 1/2 inch of threads. And I don't see what's the purpose to make it any longer, but I guess some cases you're gonna have to have more thread, but we don't need that in this case. So all we need is this standard thread. And there's another thing you gotta check. You see this here, this other shaft over here, it's got this here, this line, this guide, and it's got a straight guide over here. When you use this one here, right now we're using the straight one. If you want a straight threads, you make sure you use the straight slot facing to the inside of the device, and that's going to give you straight threads. If you do the other way, then it's going to give you the taper threads, which is, since this is a conduit, it's for electrical, we don't use the taper. We use the straight threads. But if you're doing plumbing, then you use the taper threads, which is start small and then it goes bigger, And so that's the first two things you gotta check before you get started. Then you push this through here. Kind of close this here down a little. Then you bring it all the way to, up against the teeth. Once you get in that place, then you can get it tight. Tighten it up a little bit right here. In this case, we just tighten it up a little, and then you lock it down with this in place. And now we're ready. So, as far as at this point, you start threading, and this thing has another mark that is going to show on the back side. As you see right here is the mark where you start. It's got standard threads, but as you go down in there, it's going to show another mark where it says stop, and that's where you need to stop. If you don't stop that way, that mark, it's okay too, because you see right here, it's got these pins, and this thing has a clutch inside internally. Once you push this inside, it stops by itself anyways. So there's no risk of damage this thing if you go too far. It's gonna stop anyways. But we can either do it both ways. We're gonna show the two ways. We're gonna stop it at the mark, and then we're just gonna keep going just to see how the clutch works. You gotta use a lot of oil for this thing. Now with this here being like this, it's gonna make a mess.
When are we actually doing this job?
Huh?
Next week? When are we actually doing this job? Next week?
When we're doing it, I think the compressor is showing up Monday.
So probably about Tuesday or something.
There you go. Go ahead and pull all the shaves off of it. I think the trees from this thing they're going down.
Let's put a couple on there. I think I might know one. No, it was a perfect one there. That one, this here, that one.
thing is really, really slow. But the way that things go. Marcos, estamos ahí. So right there, that's where you start to see to the mark when you're supposed to start. You see on the other hand, you're supposed to tell a line where you're supposed to start. So right there you see the line. I'm supposed to start right here. But even if you keep going, you see it's right there getting close to the clutch. Once you push this thing, this to make that possible, just start tuning this shit right here. So there's another thing, you know, I can explain about this is some people don't have the passion to back it up all the way. And really you don't have to back it up all the way up. But I like to do it that way so it cleans the threads on the way back. But most people, what they do is they just up in these, move it over to 4 inch or 3.5, and they just spin it by hand. They spin it by hand so it goes quicker. But I just like to run it back so that way it cleans the thread. Since we're running out of time, I'm going to show you how to do it, you know, without having to run it all the way out. What I do is I pull this out, and then I pull this here. Then that was nice. So now that it's open like that, we can spin and unscrew. So like we're doing it this way. You see? So we're already all the way to the back. So if the next time you're gonna use it, if you know the next thread you're gonna do is gonna be standard, then you just stop it right there. And then it's ready to go for the next one. You see it's already, now we need to move it back to 3-inch. There it's back in 3-inch. And that's it. That's how you thread a 3-inch pipe with the hog head. They call it hog head, but it's the rigid 141. Subscribe to Carlos Posada. Tutorials.
Every day something different.
Every day be something different. That's how it looks like.
Yeah, trains. Tomorrow controls, next day welding. Who knows?
I know it.
Just stay on the channel.
I'm just gonna take a cart there lunchtime, Monday, because that's when they're leaving about 11 o'clock.